I am ashamed by how feral I feel when someone else glances at you. A small, brutal animal rising in my chest that wants to protect you with claws I barely recognize. When someone else smiles your way, my breath shortens and I imagine ripping the light from their eyes, not to harm you, but because I cannot bear another soul owning even a sliver of your shine. This jealousy tastes like iron, ugly, hot, and shameful. I promise myself I won't act on it, and still my hands clench as if they remember how to strike. Loving you taught me softness, but loving you this fiercely taught me danger too. I am afraid of what I might become when someone else reaches for the place in you that belongs to me. My vow is ridiculous and tender. If another dares to covet your glance, my chest will roar so loudly the world will know how much I am unwilling to share you. Sometimes my protectiveness feels like armor, and sometimes it feels like a cage. Either way, when you're near, I want to erase anyone who dares to look like they might take you away. I would rather tear out 1,000 sunsets than watch someone else collect the small moments you've given me in secret. That's how sacred your presence has become. This isn't just fury, it's grief disguised as rage. The fear that your attention might travel elsewhere and leave me counting the places where you used to rest. If jealousy had a face, it would be mine at 2 a.m., whispering violent wishes that I immediately regret because they betray the tenderness underneath. I promise you this. My worst fantasies are not about hurting you, but about stopping anyone who thinks they can take the space you've carved into me. Call it possessive, call it needy. I call it the honest panic of a heart that remembers loss and refuses to repeat it with you. When someone else's eyes linger, I feel my history of small abandonments flare up, and suddenly I would do anything, to prevent old ghosts from returning. There is a primitive part of me that believes if I can silence every outside gaze, I can keep our world intact. I know it's untrue, but the belief is loud. I would rather wear my jealousy like a confession than hide it like a sin. It tells the truth. You mean more to me than my better manners can hold. My anger is clumsy and childish sometimes. It arrives before my reason does, and I'm learning to apologize to you for the tempests I didn't mean to unleash. I am both ashamed and proud of how wildly protective I feel. Ashamed because the image is violent, proud because it proves how fiercely I love you. If anyone else dares to look at you the way I need to be looking at you, I will fall apart with a kind of beautiful violence, mourning the moment they stole without taking anything tangible. The threat in my chest is more about panic than power. I imagine removing eyes rather than losing hours, because losing you would erase me in a way I am terrified to face. The truth is messy. I want you free, and I want you only for myself. And these two truths crash against each other until all that's left is a raw, pleading roar. I have no right to demand your exclusivity, yet sometimes my insecurity drafts monstrous vows I never intend to keep. They are the sound of fear, not reason. Loving you feels like holding a fragile lighthouse in my palms. When another ship beams toward it, I panic as if the light itself might be snatched away. My promise to guard you is a poor translation of gratitude. I want to shelter you because your presence saved me from my darker nights, not because I wish to own you. Behind every jealous sentence is a softer one. I'm terrified of being replaced, of becoming a memory you glance past on quiet afternoons. I speak in threats only to the moon at first, because even the moon cannot be trusted not to wink at you. My language is clumsy when love is deep. There is a shameful thrill in imagining myself fierce enough to stop thieves of hearts, and a calmer shame in recognizing that the stealing I fear is often only in my mind. If someone else dares to look at you, my first instinct is war. My second is to hold you closer and remind myself that the war cannot win when our truth is gentle. I vow to learn gentleness with my jealousy, to transform the impulse to claw into a choice to speak, to ask, to anchor rather than annihilate. The ugliness of my fantasies frightens me because it sits beside a beautiful truth. You have stirred a protective love in me I didn't know I possessed. When your laugh bends toward another's ear, my body remembers old betrayals and wants to preempt the pain with a violence I know is only symbolic. I confess these violent metaphors because they are the only language my anxiety finds when it's afraid of losing what it loves most. You make me want to rewrite every rule I've ever learned about calmness. In your orbit, I keep discovering sharp new pages full of raw emotion. Sometimes I scare myself with how much I want to protect you. Love turns into lightning inside me, ready to strike anyone who looks too long. It's not about violence, it's about fear, the kind that whispers, "What if they take what I love most?" When you walk into a room, I feel the world staring, and I want to build walls made of my heartbeat to hide you inside. My jealousy isn't elegant, it's messy, primal, soaked in every past abandonment that ever taught me love can disappear. I can't help it. When someone stares at you too long, my body reacts before my brain does, like it's defending something sacred. Sometimes I wonder if this obsession is love or madness. But then you smile, and suddenly I don't care what it is. You're the only calm I've ever found, and when others reach for that calm, I feel my peace turn into fire. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want the world to know you're not theirs to study, touch, or dream about. I see the way people's eyes follow your movements, and I feel my pulse become a weapon I can't control. Loving you feels holy and dangerous at once, like guarding a secret the world keeps trying to steal. My love language is warning signs, silent looks, clenched fists, a quiet storm saying, "Don't even try." You don't even notice when people stare, but I do, and I hate how powerless it makes me feel. I want to trust the world with your beauty, but it's greedy, and I've seen what greed does to purity. Every time someone's eyes linger on you, I feel something ancient awaken, something that only understands defense. You make me want to protect you from everything, even from admiration that isn't mine. I don't know if it's love or possession, but whatever it is, it burns with a purpose I can't extinguish. When I say I'd rip their eyes out, it's not violence. It's a metaphor for how much I hate sharing your light. I'm not proud of it, but my love was never soft. It was forged in fear, sharpened by longing, and ruled by you. The world should know the way I look at you isn't just desire, it's a claim written in every heartbeat. If love makes us monsters, then let me be the kind that guards, not devours, what it loves most. I watch you breathe and wonder if anyone else hears it. The thought alone drives me close to rage. Sometimes I wish I could freeze time whenever your eyes meet mine, just so no one else can witness it. My jealousy doesn't want to hurt. It just wants to keep you safe from eyes that don't deserve your presence. When you smile at others, I know it's kindness, but my chest still fills with storm clouds that I can't calm. I don't want to own you. I just want to guard the parts of you that the world doesn't understand how to handle. I know it's irrational, but the thought of someone else's gaze tracing your face feels like a trespass. You have no idea how beautiful you are, and maybe that's what saves everyone around you from my fury. If people knew what it takes to earn your smile, they'd stop trying to steal glances and start learning reverence. My jealousy is an echo of all the times I lost something too precious too soon. I won't lose you that way. The moment someone stares too long, I see red, not out of hate, but out of a desperate need to keep peace untouched. When I'm near you, even my shadow grows protective. It wants to cover you from any unwanted gaze. You make me believe love is both armor and weapon, and I never know which I'm wearing when others look at you. I know it's unhealthy, but your existence rewired me. Now my instinct is to guard what brings me oxygen. You're not mine to own, but I can't help feeling like your presence is a secret I've been chosen to protect. My rage isn't aimed at them, it's aimed at fate for daring to let anyone else stand close enough to feel your warmth. I would never actually harm anyone, but inside, I wish I could blind the world just so they'd stop noticing you. Loving you feels like standing on the edge of sanity. One wrong look from someone else, and I'm gone. I tell myself to stay calm, but when eyes wander toward you, I become every jealous poem ever written. Sometimes I envy the air that touches your skin. At least it doesn't have to ask permission. My mind invents 100 scenarios of losing you, and every single one starts with someone else noticing what I noticed first. I hate that the world gets to see you, even for a second. You were meant to be my private miracle. Every time you laugh in public, my heart screams, "Hide that sound. It's too beautiful for strangers." I want to be better, to trust more, to let go. But then I see eyes following you, and I forget how to breathe. This love feels wild because it knows the world wants a piece of you, and I'm not built to share. You deserve admiration, I know, but every time it happens, my body forgets that truth and remembers possession.